always say, don't take it personal. Like, yeah, I don't know about that. I think you better fucking take it personal.
David Grutman is the force behind some of the most iconic nightlife and restaurant brands. He's built one of the most powerful ecosystems in hospitality today, and he breaks down how he turns relationships into an empire.
Doing what you say, but over-delivering for people is really the key to success. I know there's a lot of people out there that always say they're going to do great things and they just never do. I come out firing them. You don't get to my level without having big losses too. I had just failed at doing my own club, failed miserably. But man, if I had the weapons of mass destruction I have now, then I would.
Kim Kardashian wrote the foreword for your book. I want to read a few points to set the context.
Okay.
As a friend, I've seen firsthand how deeply he cares about the people around him. His generosity, humor, and authenticity are constants no matter how big the stage gets. And maybe most importantly, he's taught me that success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about bringing people with you. David never shines alone. He shines with his community, his family, his friends. That's why his story is so inspiring. So your book has a lot to do with relationships. What do you think is kind of that single most common trait that you see in the relationships that have lasted long? What's that single common through line with all of them?
I think it's appreciation. I really appreciate when people do great things for me. I think with great relationships, it's both ways that they really acknowledge and appreciate when you do something for them. Man, when you do something great for somebody and you could see the look on their face, that's why I'm in the hospitality business, because when you blow somebody away with a night out or a great meal or just an experience, that's what gets me going. And also if you're able to change a young founder's life or be able to add gasoline to a new brand or build a brand with somebody, that's so rewarding.
You open up Live, and I think another big thing that you talk about in the book and how I look at you is this ecosystem that you've built past the club. So let's take a step back. Like, what was that kind of aha moment where you're like, okay, people are coming to my club, but I'm destined for something more?
So I was gathering lots of great people together before the club to try to gather everybody in one spot and then go over to Live. And if I'm doing that and making this restaurant super hot and on fire with the great best people, why would I not be doing that for myself? Always wanted to be in the restaurant business. So the first restaurant I did was Komodo, and it gave me that to have everyone come meet me at Komodo first. So knowing that the restaurants feed the nightclub beforehand started that whole ecosystem idea. And I knew that I couldn't just be just like I knew I couldn't be a bartender for my whole life. I knew I couldn't just be a nightclub guy. So I wanted to be a hospitality guy. And the restaurant was the natural, easy, not easiest, but in hindsight, wow, definitely not the easiest, but the best way for me to be able to connect that ecosystem.
So you're owning the whole entire kind of experience, whether it be beforehand, dinner, pregame, et cetera. They go to the club.
Right. And lounge in between. Yeah, I don't want to lose people. The whole thing is, remember, Miami's a 5 a.m. town. So, or you go to dinner, let's say 8 or 9, there's a lull in between the 1 o'clock when you would go to Live. So you want to also own that experience as well.
On the Komodo side, I know you raised $10 million initially. What was that big learning lesson from raising that money?
They really believed in me. I don't think it was a mistake, but they all own a percentage of the IP as well, Komodo, as we grow. And they deserve it. They took a big risk on me. I've never done a restaurant before. And Komodo's been one of these most special moments, special things in my life. I learned so much from opening Komodo, from it not being super slammed from the second I opened. How did I build that business, being there every night, to guilting celebrities and DJs to come there before they go out, and to get people to come to a new area. I knew I could activate a new area because at that time there was only like one other restaurant that was anything in Brickell area. Now Brickell, of course, is slammed to the gills. And in Vegas, to be able to take that Komodo brand that we started 10 years ago and bring it into today has been a great experience too. So to see a brand evolve over the years is really special.
And contextually, for people out there listening that have not gone to Komodo, I mean, it's a massive space. Like, how many square feet? It's huge.
18,000 square feet in Miami, and in Vegas, it's probably pretty close. In Dallas is like 10,000 square feet. But Komodo is a massive space in Miami, and none of my friends thought I was going to make it. They were like, oof, this is going to be dead on arrival. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I have bird nests in the back that you can eat in this area and da-da-da. They're like, David, no one's really coming to this area. But this is during the condo disaster in Miami. So all these condos that got built that they thought my hairdresser was flipping, pre-construction contracts on, became the hub for young professionals to move to and rent. So how great is it to have a restaurant now with all these young professionals and all the buildings around you with nothing else cool to do?
Yeah, you definitely were taking your own bets and looking at kind of like these net new areas and taking bets yourself.
And it also showed all the landlords out there that I could activate an area that's not activated. And that's been a very big superpower for me when I'm negotiating a lease or a deal for a new space.
Yeah, and that's like the importance from an ecosystem perspective where you have kind of these multiple strings of leverage where it's like, hey, if you want to go here or play here, please come here. And you're setting them up anyway for a nice dinner at Komodo, but you have the whole entire flywheel with all the touch points.
At this point, if you're a landlord and you're calling me, you kind of know what you're going to get. And I think that's also, again, we talked about building other brands, but also building your personal brand too, right? So I think it's really, really important to build your own personal brand.
Completely agree. And I think just to put a pin in that Komodo for people out there listening, what I found absolutely mind-blowing is the Stouffer guy from Live didn't give you money for Komodo.
So yeah, I mean, Jeff Stouffer gave me my opportunity at Live. I thought I knocked it out of the park, over deliver. I go, hey man, I'm going to do a restaurant. I'd love for you to invest. He said, no, you're not a restaurant guy. You're a nightclub guy. And to his thought process, he only saw me as a nightclub guy and didn't know that I could make it as a restaurateur. But when he opened up the Fontainebleau Las Vegas, what's the first restaurant he asked to be in there?
He hit you back on that.
For Komodo. So at least he was great enough to say, hey, Dave, you know what? Sometimes maybe you have to do things on your own, but I'm there watching and I am giving you the opportunity to bring it to Vegas.
And you mentioned, one of the biggest potential mistakes you made when raising the $10 million for Komodo was those people ate off the whole entire plate. And you talk a lot in the book about IP. So why don't you walk through kind of that IP story?
Yeah, I only know IP so much because, in the beginning, I didn't really know what IP meant. And I only looked at things as a single venue and not multiple venues. I think anything you build, I always look at like, am I going to be able to grow this? And like, if so, my partner on the IP, which is the intellectual property, again, needs to either add as much value to the project as I do or more. And there's times where you think they should be part of the IP. And there's times where you're thinking it's just an investment deal for people and that just want to be down on that one investment. But I always look at everything as IP. Even people coming to Miami, they go, will you partner with me? And I'm like, but you have such a big brand. Am I going to be able to be part of that IP? And they're like, no, we just want you to be the Miami. I'm like, no. If I'm going to turn the needle for you, I better be part of that IP. Because it's not about the money you make on that particular year or deal. It's about the exit. And that's how you gain real wealth in life, is when you exit something and you're able to sell it for, a multiple that's way greater than you could ever imagine.
So contextually, when people came in on the Komodo deal, they came in on the holdco level,
Yeah.
where if you open up elsewhere, they get pro rata equity.
Well, they have the first right of refusal to invest, and depending if there's money to put up or not, but they get an IP fee. Yeah.
And tell us about that versus kind of the other route that you went with Live, kind of that management deal versus ownership.
So
deal.
anything, even in Vegas and all these resorts and casinos that you see around the world, for 99% of them, those are management deals where you get a piece of the gross and a piece of the net, but you don't have to put any of the money up and there's no real payback. And most of the time there's no rent either, but it's a great way to make cash flow for a new restaurateur or club owner. But it's not usually the same amount as if you had the lease and you were doing the same kind of numbers, right? So lease casinos and resorts are smart enough to know that they want to control whether if something's not successful, they could pop it out, pop a new one in, whatever it is, but also that they're housing all these people above you, all these beds that are going to help activate your place. Now, it's your job to try to keep those people there and bring new people to the resort and make people want to stay at that hotel or casino. But there are management deals. And I think it's always important for a restaurateur or club owner or whatever, somebody in the hospitality space, to have a mix of leases, but also have management deals just so that you have good cash flow coming in all the time as you make these more risky investments.
So those are like licensing or royalty deals, basically.
Yeah, but listen, it's a piece of the gross, it's a piece of the net. And now, because of my name and my brands, I'm able to negotiate a pretty good,
high royalty
high management fee to where it would be the same economics if I leased it or not.
Minimum guarantees or no? I'm a licensing guy. So.
Yeah, so I do minimum guarantees when it's overseas, for sure.
Nice. Love that. So you recommend for anybody that's building a hospitality portfolio to have both a mix
A
of
mix.
home run swing, enterprise value, and let me get my foot in this market or with this person and
Yeah,
free cash
and
flow.
it's less. It's how much. What's your thing for risk? I don't love a lot of risk, but unfortunately, my ego pushes me to be very risky, which has worked out okay.
I think there's pluses and minuses to that. We'll get into that. I'm curious because I saw so much conflicting numbers on the internet, and I've asked some of my buddies that own clubs and restaurants, what type of like profit and EBITDA does like a club or a restaurant run on? Because you're doing tens of millions of dollars, 30, 40, 50 million.
So certain nightclubs could do over 20% consistently, and certain restaurants could do anywhere from 10% to 20% or 5%. It just depends.
What is that big variable that you're going to get 20 versus 5?
So the big variable obviously is just revenue. At the end of the day, if you're doing real revenue, you can fix the rest, because there's a certain point where the electric bill is the electric bill, and whether you do 10 million or 20 million, but obviously those expenses go down. Your rent is your rent, right? So as you do more revenue, all those expenses percentages
As a
go down.
percent of revenue goes down. Yeah.
So
Because
it's
you're
all,
outpacing your flat costs.
right. It's all about revenue, man, at the end of the day.
It is. What about first generation versus second generation, just locations and
Right. So, I mean, of course, the dream is to have a second generation restaurant that it's quicker to get to market, because the HVAC, the kitchen, the bathrooms, everything's pretty much there. You just have to kind of reskin and redesign it. But the negative is someone else made that mistake and you're just taking over their mistake and just fixing it. Now, Papi Steak, for the first Papi Steak, was a restaurant that had opened and closed in that space 3 times. Couldn't make it. So we did as Papi Steak, we wanted to feel like a new space inside, although we left the bar, and the kitchen. We kind of opened it up more, and we closed. It's a sub-level space with windows, so you could see people walking by you. We enclosed all that. We took a big risk. We said, listen.
Bomb shelter.
We're going to enclose the whole thing. So when you walk into Papi Steak, you're kind of walking into a new world, your own world. And by doing that, you don't get lunch because there's no natural sunlight, obviously. But Papi Steak is by far one of the most successful things in my portfolio and great partnerships I've ever had.
And something like that, how much does something like that cost for like a nice restaurant?
Anywhere between 1,200 and 1,500 a square foot. So let's say it's 10,000 square feet. You're looking at $12, $15 million, man. Plus pre-opening, plus this, plus that. Where Papi Steak, we only spent $1.4 million to reopen it. Now, we just closed it and did over almost $4 million in renovations over this last summer to keep it new and keep it fresh.
Tell us about that origin story of Papi Steak. It's an interesting one. Such a strong brand.
He's a very special guy. His name's David Einhorn. He goes by Papi. He was grilling a steak behind my house. He was coming down from New York, and he had really kind of taken over the nightlife scene over there, being a face on the nightlife scene, I mean. And he would come over to my house, and he started grilling this kosher steak behind my house. And I'd bring all my friends to taste it, and he put his famous Papi sauce on it. And social media, I started going crazy. So let's put it on the menu at Komodo. And it just took off, man. I sell a lot of ducks, but I really sold a lot of Papi Steaks. And it was just fun, something fun to do with my friend. And in doing so, seeing how popular that was, another friend of ours, Noah Tepperberg, and myself, we're flying with Papi to Chicago for Noah's Tao opening, and suggested, hey, you guys should do maybe a second generation restaurant together. Or you should do a restaurant together. And we found the second generation space where Papi Steak is now. I thought it'd do 6, 7 million. Who knew it'd do 20 million plus and 30 million plus in Vegas. And now we're doing other markets, and I think it's going to be even bigger.
What's the MSRP on one of those big steaks? I have not gone yet. I'm going to go next week.
We have a couple. We have $1,000 steak that comes in a beef case, and you get a whole show.
That's the one that I see on the
yeah, that's the one that's like a full FOMO experience for people.
Yeah. What about doing business with friends? You mentioned Noah Tepperberg from Tao. I'm a New York guy, so I know his venues from back in the day in my 20s. I mean, you're doing business.
Papi.
I mean, you're doing business with 2 good friends, it seems like.
Right.
What has it been like doing business with friends?
When things are great, it's great. But at least when things aren't going great, you have a friend that's going to sit there and kind of back you up and help push you as well. And you're kind of in it together. If my friends were only there for the good times, they probably wouldn't be such long friends with me. There's always, just like anything else, there's good times and bad times. But just like Michael Rapino with Live Nation, I've been lucky enough to pick some great partners.
Do you think David in his 20s or 30s was as mature as he sounds right now.
No, I was really a crazy human being. Meaning I probably had, as bad as my ADD is now, it was really bad then. But also,
I'm with you on the ADD. We're in it together. Don't worry about it.
okay, I like that.
Yeah, we're in it together.
But even in my 20s, I took business very seriously. I mean, I was the first one in the office at like 8, 9 a.m. That was unheard of in the nightlife business. And I would stay till like 9, 10 o'clock before coming back in at nighttime again. So where people, you hear people that have known me for so long, they'll be like, no one will outwork him, because I would get in there in the office so early and I'd always stay so late.
When I think about hospitality, I think about going home 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock and then waking up at noon or 1.
1, yeah. That's what my competition would always do.
Operating on low sleep. Low sleep you're operating.
Yeah, but when you're in your 20s and 30s, it's a little bit different than your 50s.
Valid. When you're building these kind of new concepts, what are those like non-negotiables? Like you're talking about like owning the
Well,
IP.
non-negotiable is, it's, listen, you always put a budget together, you go to build a place, and then you have to value engineer. Always the bathrooms suffer. That's the first thing to suffer, is the bathrooms.
The bathroom stuff.
You think you're going to have the most regal, insane bathrooms, and then when you realize that you're so over budget, you're like, oh, subway tiles in the bathroom. That's good enough in the bathroom. But one thing I never like try to value engineer or is acoustics. I think the acoustics in a restaurant is so important. It's something people don't really understand, that if you hear ching, ching, ching and bang, 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 and it doesn't feel right on your ears inside your place, you'll always have a uncomfortable experience no matter what. So I never let acoustics get value engineered out, and lighting's the most important thing as well.
Let's go through all of those kind of random things, because I already know that when you walk into one of your restaurants, what's going on in your brain is probably a ping pong ball. You're looking at every little thing. What are those things? You own a spot. You go in there. What are you looking for? What are you looking at?
Well, I always walk into a place and I look up, not down. I'm looking to see if there's light bulbs out, like I talk about all the time. But also, I take a second to try to feel what the vibe and energy is in the space, because you could really get a good sense of what's going on in a restaurant by just walking in and taking the breath and seeing how everyone's moving. And then I'm always looking to see what's the look like on my guests' faces. Are they having fun? Are they enjoying themselves? Are they sharing? Are they doing stuff? Is their menu sitting on top of their plates, which means they're not getting serviced? Are their glasses empty? Are their plates dirty? Are they just sitting there? Are they stacking plates? Are they trying to get the attention of a server? I'm looking at everything. Have the plates been removed, but they didn't wipe down the table right afterwards? It's all about the details. And those details is what create the experience.
What's the most overlooked thing that these owners of other hospitality groups are missing? What's the big thing that they're missing?
I'll walk into other people's places, and sometimes I'll see like exposed rope lighting. I'll see stuff that's just not detail oriented, or they just don't get it aesthetically. But I'll see it too when I see a server order and then fire everything instead of pacing out the meal for people. When it happens to me, I lose my mind. But when I see them do it to others, I could tell when it's the worst. No one really orders just the appetizer, main course, dessert anymore. People order multiple things to share. If they don't pace that meal out for you and they just bang you out with everything, have you ever been to a place where you got your main course and your salad at the same time? Or your main course, and it's
I don't like that.
It's them trying to push you out of the place, and it's the worst.
Just drive
experience.
velocity and just get the next person.
It's just drive. It's just a lazy way of doing hospitality.
And this is just over the last 20, 25 years. You just have your own rules and you just embed this in your team.
Right. But not only that, I look on social media. If I see like a bunch of like main courses or like a bunch of big plates with a bunch of small plates, I'm like, hey, do me a favor, check on that on that table and see how the server ordered the food. And they'll like, David, you're right. They put everything in it and fired it all right away.
So you're literally being that maniacal. Like you're looking.
I'm the sickest human being you've ever met with this thing. I study everyone, because people tag me in their posts of the tables when they're eating at my restaurants. And I sit there and I'm like, do me a favor, go check on that. I'll call my manager right away.
How important is the people in the actual environment? Because I feel like you've done an amazing job, especially on launches, to make it culturally relevant.
Of course.
Like, how do you understand and feel that, like, hey, maybe my restaurant or my club is starting to go downhill or uphill based on the people that are in there? How do you engineer that?
Well, you engineer it by activating your spots the right way and making sure that you're like new constantly. Like Papi Steak, we didn't really have to redo Papi Steak in Miami, but with Vegas looking so beautiful and where the next city is going to be and what that's going to look like, we wanted to make sure that the OG Papi Steak was on the same kind of level. So, this summer we closed it for 4 months, redid it, and held back reservations a lot too. Instead of it just being so accessible for everybody, now it's created such a swell. Here we are, year 7, 8, I forget which one, but like people are dying to go to Papi Steak now, and it's like the old crowd that was there in the beginning wants to come back, but the new hot shit crowd is like they all want to go. So it's great to do things like that.
I think one of the best things that you've done when I think about you and your brand is you have this great balance of exclusivity, but also being inclusive. So like your places are like hard to get into, but I do feel like everybody eventually gets a chance to go to it.
Of course, man. Listen, you don't want to make it with restaurants. It's just supply and demand. So you want to, take care of people the best way you can, but you also don't want people waiting for, we've been through that where people wait 40 minutes, an hour, and they get really upset too. So it's a careful balance.
Let's go into the new people business that you're in. We talked about this on our call before. You're in venture now.
Yeah.
Hotels, restaurants, clubs, now venture. I'm sure it's been a fun journey for you. I want to read some stuff. You are a crazy person, and you and your team gave me a bunch of people's numbers and owners of the companies that you're with.
Let's pref this the right way. So you and I do a call to say, hey, we're coming on the podcast. Can you tell me about some of your investments with consumer, whatever? I go, I'll tell you what, better yet, let me just send you every investment I've ever made, and here's the founder's name and cell phone number. Call whoever you want.
I love that.
So
are you a big guy that you give trust first until people break it? Or was there an intuition?
There's always an intuition, guys. Let's just be honest. But I'm not a gatekeeper at all. I listen. And by the way, if in that list of founders, if you found a founder that'd be great for your show, I'd be so happy for you.
First and foremost, I could start with that one. Shahab from Symbiotica. Let me tell you about this call. This is what he says. David is a dear friend. People don't realize the quality of humans David and Isabella are, which is very rare at that level. Grutman is the nicest guy you'll ever meet. I agree, very rare at this level. Without asking for anything in return, he personally made introductions that led to investments from The Weeknd, Kendall Jenner, Hailey Bieber, J Balvin, Ryan Tedder, and the CEO of Equinox and Joe and the Juice. You cannot replicate what he has. He has a massive heart, and I'm lucky to have him in my corner. Him and Mike from Resort Pass both said that you said, I'm going to be your most valuable investor. Call any of my CEOs, which I love.
Oh.
Why do you say that?
Because I know there's a lot of people out there that always say they're going to do great things and they just never do. I come out firing that.
I may or may not have said that exact line where this is going to be one of the best value investments you ever get on WhatsApp to someone I'm negotiating with like 3-4 days ago. I'll show you the receipts right after this. I said the same exact line before I knew it from you.
Yeah. I have great confidence that if I invest in you, and I really am full blast, that it's going to be a really great outcome for you.
One of the big things, in the beginning when we talked about kind of your filter system, I think another huge thing is like, how do I utilize this kind of, let's just call it Groot ecosystem and put it in organically? What are some like tangible types of things that you've done where like, okay, you invest in X company. How are you kind of like cross-pollinating and integrating it into your world? What does that look like in practice?
Well, a couple of things is, can I do a collaboration with another one of the brands that I've invested in, like Symbiotic and Coconut Cult just did a great collaboration. Oakberry and I have done great collaborations. I've done stuff with Prince. I've done with even Happy Dad and other brands. So I always see, is there ways to do collaborations within the brands I invest in? That's a great way for both people to kind of market with each other.
That's super low lift and high impact. That's a win-win for everybody.
It's so easy. And having great relationships, you kind of know what people love and what they don't love. And if I have a brand that I think people would like, and it fits into their ecosystem, I always want to share that as well. So I think just getting people to become cheerleaders of the brand for you is a great thing. And then being almost best friends with the GoPuff founders, that helps too. So we're able to have the founders of GoPuff and myself on a Zoom with you and saying what we could do for the brand and looking at just your life as a whole too. It's like, how do we make your life better?
And that's just amplifying through their distribution. You take any CPG
product. Besides that, it just gives them a national footprint right away. And they have a lot of data that helps founders out too. They could tell you what's trending, what's not trending, what flavors are trending, what flavors are not trending, where they see it going. Freeze-dry candy was the hottest thing for 6 months, and then it wasn't, right? And like sours might be trending super high, but they see dates are around the corner and people are starting to have a lot of dates. Could be a great thing to incorporate into your brand. It doesn't matter. It's just like they have that data.
I love that. That's a key part of kind of your portfolio, understanding and knowing the data side of what's doing good and what's not. And you took an early bet on them too, right? And you bet
Yeah,
on.
of course. I mean, these guys are animals. Anyone that's willing to make the deliveries themselves, you're going to bet on.
I like that. There's a great story in the book on that. Highly recommend that one. What are some of those red flags that you walk away when people are looking for an investment from you?
I mean, the most red flag thing I look for is when people keep coming to me and saying, hey, I'm doing this. I'm going to do a new round. And it's like a 20X or 30. It's like in bizarro land. But listen, Dave, we got people that want to give us money at a crazy, crazy valuation. And I'm always like, you just sink our company, man. Like, if you're going to get that money, can I exit at that number now so I could be out of this company? Because you're going to have to raise again. And people should take the financial ride with you if they're investing with you. They shouldn't just act like everything was perfect and everything's great as they make that investment. And then what's going to happen is there's going to be a down round because you've valued your company so high and yet you need to raise money again. And if you can't raise money again at this crazy valuation, you're going to lose your company.
For people out there listening, guys, down round is a bad plateau or a down round, you're done. You have to be up and to the right in perpetuity until exit, or it's just a huge red flag.
It's a huge red flag.
Yeah, I feel like not enough people look and put themselves in the seat of the investor. And it's like, is there a realistic 7 to 10x outcome on this? And I feel like people don't look at it that way. And it's like, how do you get a win-win out of this?
Well, first of all, especially with consumer brand goods, it's so hard for a consumer brand good to sell for over $1 billion. Let's start there. So if you don't get in early enough, you kind of missed it. So it's important that you're getting into a CBG early on and making sure that the valuation is correct because consumer brand goods need a lot of money to grow.
Yeah, they're losing money for years on years until they turn the corner.
Correct.
On distribution. Of all the investments that you've made, it was a long list. What is one that you're most proud of as far as maybe the individual founder and or the decision you made?
That's, and of course, I love all my investments. It's not like having kids, but some, more than others. But one that's very dear to my heart is Skinny Dipped because it was the first round I ever led and to get people to all come in on a big round with me. And it was a round where she's like, I'm the biggest brand that nobody knows. And they're great founders. And we rebranded the company together and we did activations together. And it's been a huge success story for Skinny Dipped and for myself. And it's something I'm really, really proud of.
Big round too. It was over 10 million.
Yeah, it was 12.5 million. Yeah.
Pretty big.
And this is when everyone said, don't do this. Don't do this. Skinny Dip's not going to make it. I go, I think you're wrong. And I thought they were so wrong that I brought $12.5 million of friends' money into the deal.
Why did you think they were right? What was it?
It's funny to say, my wife is so health conscious. And if I see her eating something like that in bed, I know it's something that's going to be great. And my wife is such a good gauge. Then I try the brand and I trust my wife's intuition way more than I trust my own and her taste level way better than mine. And she co-invested too. So I invested and she came on with her own check, separately invested in it as well.
Hey, love that. That's a win-win there.
There you go.
What about failed investments? What's a painful lesson you learned from failed investments?
Gloss Lab was the worst. Was the one again that it was a great idea. Gloss Lab, where she was like, "Oh, I'm going to raise it at this big valuation." I'm like, "Okay, but you don't have all these stores open yet." And she's like, "Yeah, but don't worry, they're all opening." And I go, "So when they all open, why don't you raise at that valuation?" And of course, she got stuck and the whole company plummeted. And I just saw it so ahead of time, like, you are ruining this company.
What was it? What did you do wrong? Did you not look deep enough into the numbers?
I thought she was a better founder than she was. And she's a nice person, great. And she had great ideas and she's very creative. But she was so anxious to get these crazy valuations and not really be smart and go along with the brand, that she was just trying to get these numbers up there to just try and keep feeding it. And that's telling me that the business is not working. And you're also afraid to dilute if you're trying to do these big numbers, because as a founder, as you raise money, you dilute. And the higher you raise money at, the less you dilute. So instead of being inclusive and a team player to try to make the brand grow, you're trying to keep as much equity as possible. And
I never understood why people, and I've said this so much, like, What's the difference between $37 million and $41 million? What's the difference between $148 million and 116?
So I hear you on that.
Yeah.
But some people have a real issue with it. And I understand. Like me, I'm always like a rounding curve kind of guy. Just round it up, round it to whatever. It doesn't matter. Like it's just not enough time in the day. I'm just happy that we're winning. Some people really get fixated on every little penny.
And that's good for inside your business with keeping checks and balances, but I think externally keeping people incentivized.
I just don't have like I'm not splitting a check with you. Let's be honest. Like either I'm taking the check or you're taking the check. We're not, it's not what we're doing here. Like just keep going, guys. Like don't worry about the pennies, worry about the millions and millions of dollars.
I agree. What's the most unconventional or surprising company you've invested in?
Liquid Death by far.
I
was like, come on, man. What are we talking about here? It's a can that looks like a beer. Every celebrity kid, when I did the deal, every celebrity kid came to me begging for it. Everybody freaked out over it. I see everyone taking Instagram pictures of Liquid Death in my venues. I had to call Mike, the founder, and apologize. I go, listen, I did this investment. I wasn't sure about it, Mike, and I kind of gave you a hard time. I'm sorry. What an amazing company.
What about Colossus? Colossal's
the greatest, by the way.
This is an interesting one.
Did you call him?
I texted him too late last night.
I'm fucked up.
I know I did fuck up on that, man.
This guy is changing the world, man. This guy brought the dire wolves to us. This guy has Tom Brady's dog, cloned it from a drop of blood. That dog's been running around for 2 years now.
In its simplest terms, tell us what they do. I mean, his Wikipedia page goes absolutely crazy, by the way.
A couple of things. He's de-extincting animals that got extinct and bringing them back. He is rewilding animals on, giving his technology out for free to this, but he's also helping bring animals that are about to be extinct for good. He's bringing them back and rewilding them. And he has some other little tricks up his sleeve that hopefully will be coming. But can I tell you, Ben Lamb, to me, it's one of these great guys that you invest in and you just see that he's just one of those guys that's changing the world.
Seems like
I'm like,
brainiac.
I'm like, listen, man, if you could bring the woolly mammoth back, why can't you just fix my hair?
I know what you can do. We talked about this off camera. You can do a hair transplant, baby.
I've done 2 hair transplants.
You've done hair transplants?
My crown. It's a good thing I'm Jewish because I get to wear yarmulkes sometimes and I get to cover the spot. But I'm taking all the supplements now for hair. Hopefully it gets thicker.
I've done 1 hair transplant. I got 2 left. You have a finite amount of grafts in the back.
Of course.
I got 2. I'm being strategic. The yarmulke spot in the back, it's starting to get a little light. I ask my barber all the time, I'm like, yo, how much time do I have left?
You go to a barber? You're a barber guy?
1 time a week. I'm a big barber.
Okay, because I'm in every 2 weeks. Just because my eyebrows grow like Einstein, like I get the longest growing eyebrows. So if I don't get them trimmed every 2 weeks, it looks crazy.
Eyebrow thread? You don't do eyebrow threading?
No.
That's the greatest $9 you'll ever spend. I do that every 2-3 weeks.
Oh, I never heard about
Great
this.
Manscaped, yeah. They take this like little thread. It's great. It kind of hurts if you don't do it often. You got to do it. What are you doing here? You're plucking it?
No. They come and put the comb with the shaver and they just trim it down. That's it. But I get that one straggler too that starts going crazy.
You're gonna get your eyebrows threaded, and it's. I do a little manscaping session. That's like a key part of my manscaping session.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to go barber then that. Yeah, I got you on that. We're here to teach each other on the manscape. Let's go around to some failures. A little bit about ego and lessons. Quite frankly, when I think about you, I had never heard of any failures. I think that's a great job by you and your team because I had never heard of any failures.
Oh no, they can't wait to write about when I fail.
Let's talk about it. I guess let's just kind of go one by one. What's the hardest lesson that you learned from Winkers?
I mean, I think you have to learn what your audience wants out of you. And every time I try to go mid or low, they don't want it from me. They want that fun, shiny, glamorous experience.
Mid-low price point.
Mid-low price point. It's not what my people expect out of me. And as I get older, I want to be more luxury. I want to try to even raise the bar even higher. But anytime I try to go mid-level or low, it doesn't work for me.
Was it a function of the average order value, or did you try a premium diner, or like what did you try?
Yeah, I try to do a diner that I'm a Jewish boy, so I love diners. I love like deli and all that. And my wife's matzo ball soup was on the menu. I was very proud of it. And I just realized that either I was too expensive for the price I was charging for that sandwich or roasted chicken, but also people weren't drinking at my spot. And either I was too expensive or they wouldn't want to have a cocktail or whatever. And I could never get the check average over $30, $40. I can't make money with all my infrastructure at a price and I never saw it jumping over to $90 or $80 or $125 or $250 like my other places. What am I doing wasting my time with this?
You gave me a mind-blowing number when we chatted. How much money do you have to make per year for it to make sense on a restaurant or venue?
A restaurant has to make, I think on the low side, $14-15 million for it to really make sense for me.
You pay your team well. That's nice overhead across the whole entire portfolio. 14
It-
or 15? You can't have a little like 6 million guy, 8 million guy?
No, I can't make, I don't know how people make money I'll lose a lot of money at that level. And people that are able to make money at a $6 or $7 million gross revenue, it's very impressive to me because I can't do it. My rents are too high. My infrastructure's too high. My payroll's too high. I can't do it.
Something with Winkers that you've said it, but you haven't said it, and it's actually the same mistake that I made about 3 or 4 years ago, is from an art company. Our art is based off like motivation and inspiration. And we had a pivotal moment where I'm like, okay, can we double down on brand? Or should we use our moat of like printing art for other people? And I went the art route because I'm like, hey, we do art, as opposed to doubling down on brand. And I feel like that's the same mistake you make, where you're like, you're all about destination and high end, and you went mid-low, and that's just not what anybody wants.
It's not what they want from me. People want it. They just don't want it for me. I don't know why, but it's okay.
Yeah. What about Story? I would say Story and Key Club are the other two.
No, so Story, unfortunately, was doing well. The problem is the city closed Story. All these condos went up around Story, and they did a thing where if you have 150 seats, you have to close at 2 a.m., and Miami's a 5 a.m. town. Key Club, I opened it up in Coconut Grove. I thought for sure this is a new area of Miami. I'm going to be able to do great. And I did a grand opening there. Like it was like the Planet Hollywood opening. I had like Lenny Kravitz and this one and Beckham and everybody. And I did great for a year. And after a year, it just didn't keep hitting. And I think for me, knowing that, again, it's a mid-level restaurant, and it being in Coconut Grove, I maybe couldn't have given it the attention that it probably really needed for me to be there constantly to keep it going. But also, I know that I need some transient business too. Transient means people on vacation. And as being just a neighborhood place, I wasn't able to make that work. And I was able to sell the restaurant, so it wasn't such a big loss for me. But listen, it's the time, it's the energy, it's everything that you wait. It's like a major project opening a restaurant from the ground up.
So it needs to be in Miami, so that you can ping pong on the ecosystem.
I mean, it helps with me, but also I like when people are coming and going and not just worrying about the people that live there.
Any of those kind of like warning signs that you think you ignored? I would imagine that as you matured, you probably exited earlier than you did on the first
I definitely know it now.
Yeah.
So I probably won't get into a situation again where it's mid or low. My specialty is experience. My specialty is people going out at night and kind of like letting loose and giving you a vibe and energy of like, that's your night out. Winkers was never that.
I mean, I would argue that ego in some sense allowed you to do Komodo. So you can, because it was it was a new foray.
By the way, again, talking about Komodo, this is not a small little restaurant that's in some strip mall, man. This is a 19,000 massive restaurant. Only my ego could push you to do something like that.
Worked out. Would you say, and I know you don't want to pick one, would you say that's your most successful venture? From
that and Papi Steak for sure.
Because those are on the ownership side versus Live, which is a management deal. Although that was kind of the first child that you had.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I can't do a Live without Jeff Sofer, and he can't do one without me, and it's been a great partnership that way. But, more than that, Jeff's given me such a great platform to be able to shine. And to his credit, he's built resorts that stand the test of time. And I'm just so lucky to have a nightclub in one of his resorts, so.
What do you think is the most counterintuitive lesson you've learned kind of about bouncing back from your losses?
You know what it is? You think you're so embarrassed. You're like, oh, people are going to think so bad of me. I'm like, they thought nothing of me. People don't even think about me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you think you have this golden touch and all this, but it's not like that, man. That's not real life. And yes, you're going to have some great successes. And to be on my level, I have a lot of big wins. But you don't get to my level without having big losses too, man. You think I learned and I became so good at my trade is because of all the painful lessons I learned along the way. I talk about it all the time to people now when I negotiate even venture deals. I only do good investment deals now because of all the bad investment deals I did when I started. But by doing those bad deals, it set me up to make sure I do only great deals now.
Yeah, I feel like I say it all the time in this podcast. I think one of the most underestimated elements of any and all entrepreneurs is experience. I think it's just not spoke
And I would
about.
love to tell you I learn from my lessons every time. No, I have to make that same mistake 2 or 3 or 10 times to really learn that lesson.
Yeah, but you now versus David Grutman at 40,
I mean,
you would mop the floor on him right now. You'd crush him.
Oh man, if I had the weapons of mass destruction I have now, then it would be unbelievable.
We got a long runway left. You're going to deploy. There's going to be a lot of weapons that are going to be deployed.
I hope so.
I want to round the corner and we're going to fire off tons of random Quickstrike questions. Is all press good press?
No,
Elaborate.
I don't believe that. No, listen, I hate bad press. And if anyone who tells you, oh, bad press is great press, it's not. I don't think so. I mean, especially when you write a book called Take It Personal and everything really you take personal, it's not great.
What is the best thing you learned as a bartender?
Being able to engage with people one-on-one. And of course, servicing others. Listen, everyone thinks the hospitality business is so shiny and beautiful. And at the end of the day, we're really just serving others. And I love that part. I love being able to serve up experience for people.
For context, what are all of the jobs that you've had in the hospitality space?
Man, I've done it. I've done dishwasher, I've done host, I've done manager, I've done server, I've done bartender, I've done bar back.
Hit the toilet bowls?
I've not been a bathroom attendant, but I've done some nasty shit in my life in the restaurant, in the nightclub and restaurant business for sure.
And that obviously serves you well that you've done everything so you can ask anyone to do
Yeah, and by the way, you could come to my restaurant, you'll see me picking up trash nonstop.
Love that. All right, we're going to pop up a screen right here, the old Dave. I'm going to pop up the sexiest picture of Dave on the internet. It'll probably be like sub 10% body fat. I did some Googling when we do your name and image. You're looking real good.
Thank you.
Sub 10%.
Yeah.
Like I saw the obliques and the side cuts.
Wow.
What was the biggest change you made?
During COVID, I wanted to take my health seriously. I met Gary Brecka. He helped biohack with me. And just becoming on a routine of being passionate about tennis in the morning, doing heavy weights, and then, of course, all the peptides. And staying healthy. That helps.
Food? On the food side, you're talking?
Food, not drinking, this, that, everything.
The name of your book coming out is Take It Personal.
Right.
What does that mean to you? Why'd you write the book?
It's how much I care, man. I think, when you care so much about the details, about the experience, about the business, it's why I'm successful. It's because I take it so personal. And I really hate it my whole life. And people are like, oh, when something bad would happen, they'd be like, don't take it personal. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. I think you better fucking take it personal.
Obsessive.
If you would.
Beautiful book, beautiful cover. The same person that designed the iPhone designed your book. How'd that happen?
Sir Johnny Ive.
Sir Johnny Ive.
Yeah, I was getting the publisher, No Events, was sending me book covers that literally didn't resonate with me at all. And it got to the point where I was like, I'm going to use one of my coupons with Johnny. Johnny, I really need this. He goes, oh, I'm so honored to be part of this. And the next day, Palatone colors, the whole thing. It's crazy. And he did that super quick, and he's been around for the whole process now to make sure the sleeve's good, it all fits in, everything is cohesive. And the publisher was like, are you paying Johnny? Because I go, well, ChatGPT just paid him $6 billion to design some devices. So it's either $6 billion or free. I'm going to go with the free.
There you go. What's up, guys? Hope you guys are enjoying the episode. This interview is a small glimpse into David's new book, Take It Personal. I read it this past weekend. It is a great read. If you guys want to check it out, link below in the description. Enjoy the rest of the episode. Biggest learning lesson from Jeff Sofer.
Jeff Sofer has taught me to swing for the fences. He makes such big bets. It's what's inspired me to open a restaurant that was 19,000 square feet. This guy has opened 2 massive resorts in areas that people said, nah. And he's done it and done it really well. He inspired me to go for the fences. I mean, it's just, if you're going to do it, you might as well go as big as possible. And Jeff Sofer really is that guy that takes it to another level.
You can't have enough people like that in your life that just make you go bigger.
And he keeps me humble because he tortures the living shit out of me. Jeff Sofer will tell me exactly whatever I'm insecure about, we'll find it, and he'll just nail me on it every time.
Love that. What was Isabella Grutman's best business move?
Isabella Grutman's best business move was starting her jewelry line, that's for sure. She's just so good at it. She's able to layer, she's able to make jewelry that really resonates with people that love her and follow her, and she's a girl's girl.
Good taste.
She has the best. My wife has the best taste of anyone I've ever met.
It's the Brazilian.
I don't know if it's the Brazilian.
I'm just gonna say this is Brazilian.
I don't know if it's the Brazilian. I mean, Brazilians have great taste, but there's something special. I mean, obviously, she's my wife. I can't say anything, and she's just the best.
Last couple questions we got here. One word to describe Ari Emanuel.
He's really Ari from Entourage, and Ari Emanuel. Yeah, he really is. I mean, this guy shows you that you need to talk about an example of someone that takes it personal. This man takes it really personal.
He seems hyper aggressive and focused and on attack mode 24/7. One music act or appearance in the last 20 years that sold way more tickets than you would ever guess. I want you to go like weird and random, like a Nelly Furtado or like a Soulja Boy or like the Housewives of a show. Something random.
I mean, something random. I mean, I think John Summit's kind of blown me away. I mean, I knew his engagement was very, very off the charts, but John Summit, what he's done, what he's been able to accomplish in such a short amount of time as really capturing the Gen Z audience is something I could never see. I mean, of course, I invested in him early and I knew he was very special, but at this level, it's something you see every 10 years.
And that's someone that you brought onto kind of like the live roster early. You invested in.
Yeah, I mean, listen, with all due respect, yes, I was early on seeing how successful he would be. I never thought he'd be at the level he's at today in the short amount of time he is today.
Yeah, I do feel like it's come out of I feel like it's been like 3 years, 4 years.
Not even 2 years. It's been like crazy. 3 years, yeah.
Insane. Good to piggyback off that. One word to describe Steve Aoki.
I mean, Steve's the best. He's a great investor. He's a great DJ. He's a great fun guy. And he knows his lane. He knows what his brand is. And he knows like what brands to invest in and how to really add his superpowers to those brands. You think I'm a good investor? He's a very good investor.
Great documentary on Netflix of him. I had no idea how hard he works. He works like 20 hours a day.
No, this guy does more shows than anybody. He moved to Las Vegas just to be able to do as many shows as possible in Las Vegas.
Did not know that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's amazing. Entrepreneur or brand that you want to give flowers to and why?
I mean, so many good, Goodles and now Coconut Cold and Symbiotica, and I'm looking at Instant Hydration, and it's so many great brands out there. I'm just like, what you've done is incredible.
I'm going to pop up any and all the logos that you've invested in up over our head on the final production so we can
great.
Shout out the whole team. What about a creator that you want to give flowers to and why?
Ben Gorham, the founder of Byredo and creator of Byredo, who sold his brand a couple of years ago, has been such an impactful guy with me. Also, Mark Barocca from Shark Ninja, to see what the brand he's built from Shark, beauty and Ninja appliances, having him around me has been really impactful. And Raf and Yak from GoPuff. They, through good times and bad times, let me tell you, there's bad times too. And these guys keep raising the bar over and over and over again. And
how big is GoPuff now?
They just did around at $8 billion.
Wow. That's insane. How big can Groot Hospitality be?
Thank God I have a great team around me that's wanting to grow. So I think as the next generation of people that come to the company really are hungry to grow this brand as I am, I think the star's the limit.
I had a great time, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Love the book. We're going to put down below a link in the description for the book. Where can they find you everywhere on social? What's the one place they should go? Outside of Instagram. Very entertaining, especially on the story.
David Grutman on Instagram.
And what about the book? Where's the best place to get the book?
Amazon.
Done deal. I appreciate
your
you,
local
man.
Bookstore.
Appreciate you. What's up, guys? If you guys got this far in the episode, I would assume that you enjoyed it. If you got any value, it would mean the world if you hit the subscribe button, give it a like, post a comment, tell a friend. We could keep going bigger guests, bigger locations, more value. See you in the next episode.